A border clash that shocked the world, escalating tensions that might ignite a larger conflict. Are Afghan forces gearing up for something bigger? Stay tuned as we break down the facts, the history, and the implications of this brewing storm. The region of South Asia has long been a hotspot for geopolitical tensions, with Afghanistan and Pakistan sharing a turbulent history. In December 2024, this rivalry took a dangerous turn. Reports emerged of deadly border skirmishes that claimed dozens of lives. The question on everyone's mind is, are Afghan forces preparing for an invasion, or is this a defensive stance against external aggression? In this video, we'll dive deep into the recent events, explore the historical context, and analyze the potential consequences for the region and the world. Let's start with what happened on the ground. The incident began with airstrikes carried out by Pakistan in Afghanistan's Paktika province. These strikes reportedly killed dozens of people, including women and children. Afghan authorities condemned the attack, calling it a violation of their sovereignty. In retaliation, the Afghan Ministry of Defense announced counterattacks targeting what they described as enemy hideouts on the Pakistani side of the border. According to reports, these strikes killed 19 Pakistani soldiers and injured several others. Afghan officials justified their actions as a necessary response to protect their people. This sudden escalation has left many wondering whether this is a one-time clash or the beginning of a larger conflict. To understand the current tensions, we must look at the history of Afghanistan-Pakistan relations. The two countries share a 2,640-kilometer border known as the Durand Line. This boundary, drawn by British colonial authorities in 1893, has been a source of contention ever since. Afghanistan has historically disputed the legitimacy of the Durand Line, claiming that it divides ethnic Pashtun communities. This unresolved border issue has fueled mistrust and occasional conflicts between the two nations. In addition to territorial disputes, Afghanistan has accused Pakistan of harboring extremist groups that destabilize the region. Pakistan, on the other hand, blames Afghanistan for providing refuge to anti-Pakistani militants. These mutual accusations have created a volatile environment where even minor incidents can escalate quickly. The timing of this escalation is significant. Afghanistan's internal situation is precarious, with the Taliban government facing international isolation and economic hardship. By taking a strong stance against Pakistan, Afghan leaders may be trying to rally domestic support and shift attention away from internal challenges. Meanwhile, Pakistan is dealing with its own issues, including political instability and a struggling economy. The recent clashes could be a way for both governments to assert strength and distract from their respective crises. Additionally, external powers like India, China, and the United States have strategic interests in the region. Any conflict between Afghanistan and Pakistan could have ripple effects, drawing in these global players and complicating the situation further. Despite the alarming reports, there is no concrete evidence to suggest that Afghanistan is preparing for a full-scale invasion of Pakistan. The recent attacks appear to be retaliatory rather than offensive in nature. However, some experts warn that the situation could spiral out of control if both sides continue to escalate. Miscalculations or provocations could lead to a larger conflict, with devastating consequences for both nations. It's also worth noting that Afghanistan's military capabilities have been significantly weakened in recent years. While the Taliban government has been trying to rebuild its forces, it is unlikely that they are in a position to launch a major offensive against a well-equipped military like Pakistan's. If tensions continue to rise, the impact could extend far beyond Afghanistan and Pakistan. Here are a few potential scenarios. 1. Increased refugee crisis. Any conflict would likely displace thousands of people, creating a humanitarian crisis. Neighboring countries like Iran and India could face an influx of refugees, further straining regional resources. 2. Terrorism and extremism. A prolonged conflict could create a power vacuum, allowing extremist groups to thrive. This would pose a threat not only to the region but to global security as well. 3. Geopolitical shifts. Countries like China and the United States could be forced to intervene, either diplomatically or militarily. This could lead to a realignment of alliances and further complicate international relations. 4. Economic impact. Both Afghanistan and Pakistan are already struggling economically. A conflict would exacerbate these issues, pushing millions of people into poverty and destabilizing the region. The path forward is uncertain, but there are steps that both nations can take to de-escalate the situation. International mediation, confidence-building measures, and addressing the root causes of their disputes could help prevent further conflict. At the same time, the international community must play a proactive role in promoting peace and stability in the region. Ignoring the situation could have dire consequences for global security. The Afghan-Pakistan border remains a powder keg, with the potential to ignite a larger conflict at any moment. As tensions continue to rise, the world watches closely. What do you think about this escalating situation? Will cooler heads prevail, or are we witnessing the start of something far more dangerous? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more in-depth analyses on global events.